You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Attack on Titan After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Attack on Titan After Show.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Attack on Titan After Show. I was like, we're all waiting, like, okay, with the music. We gotta wait for the music.
And there
it is. All right.
There's the entrance.
There's the music. And with that music, we can do our amazing introduction to our Comic-Con panel who are here. And so you guys are gonna be the highlight of the show.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. It was hard work going to Comic-Con. It was really
sure
hard
it
work.
was.
It was work for you.
Waiting in lines is a lot of hard work.
I was working the whole time.
Yes, talking to all the people we all want to talk to and getting all of the backstage access to all of the famous people. Did you like save a bit of sweat off them just a bit?
It's
just
a tough
bit,
job,
just some magic.
But someone has to do it, John.
I high-five John Barrowman for what that's worth.
Look, they took the bullet for you guys, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yeah, such a bullet. Was it?
That's all good. You know what, John and I, we got to hang out outside and look at like Assassin's Creed stuff.
Are you guys just mad that the sausage press is done?
Yes.
A little bit.
Aww.
I mean, we had an epic bromance going.
Didn't you
I'm
even
pretty
miss
hungry
us, like,
right
a
now.
little? Like, even just a smidgen?
You know what's sad to say? No.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay, well, that was Katie Cullen who's leaving. Introducing
I
Katie
have an
Cullen.
entire end of the
Leaving the
table
show.
to myself. Why not?
And also part of the Comic-Con duo, Megan Salinas, sitting next to me.
It's good to be back. Thank you.
And part of the sausage duo, the sausage duo.
That's John. My name is John Quick. That's DJWANE. That's how you spell
And
it.
his mic got cut for good reasons.
It's Jean, but he pronounces it Jean for some reason. We all know it's Jean.
And guys, I'm Dave Klein. So, before we get started into the episode, I believe we have an announcement.
Announcement?
Or is that a different show that you guys are doing that
That is
with?
totally a different show.
Totally different show.
Well, I thought you said it was this show, and that's why I thought you were doing. Never mind.
Well,
Sword Art
I have
Online
news and
people.
gossip.
Make
Sword
sure
Art
it's.
Online has a guest coming, but we have a guest coming later in September. So.
But then never mind. For Sword Art Online, catch Sword Art Online for an awesome stuff from Megan. Anyways, let's go
I
ahead
have
and
news
talk
and
about.
gossip for what it's worth.
Let's talk about some news and gossip.
Let's do
Talk
this.
about some news and gossip.
Okay.
Do we have a cue?
No, because
No.
we didn't give him a heads up.
No, because I'm special.
Because it happens at the end of the episode.
Well, then let's talk about news and gossip. at
We're
the end of the
reversing things.
episode.
We're reversing things. News and gossip.
Or we're talking about it at the beginning.
Let's just do it now.
For one, they have done the casting for the Attack on Titan live movies that they plan on doing.
Okay.
So that will be a thing. I don't have the page in front of me, or I would read you off all the names that I don't recognize that haven't been in anything else that anyone would know.
But will it
But we
be
are
as good
getting-
as the porno?
Is there an Attack on Titan porn?
yes.
You're gonna have to watch that and let me know.
How is there not an Attack on Titan porno?
Better question.
You're gonna have to watch that and let me know because I have zero context for that one. The other news
It's
is
almost as good
that
as the hentai.
No more of that.
do I get to say my news or do I really have to leave
No.
That's the goal of today's episode.
to get Katie to leave? Okay.
See what we can say. Cross the line
Plenty,
as
I'm
many
sure.
times as possible.
The other news is that Universal Studios Japan is putting on an event in which they will feature statues, etc., an experience from Attack on Titan and Resident Evil. And several other things. It's basically Hollywood Horror Nights, but they're doing it in their off-season, and they're scaring the daylights out of you by putting you in the middle of the
So
wall.
how
That
big will the
sounds so
statues
cool.
be? Will they literally be the size of buildings?
I don't know because the page with the information is not very big and not in a language I recognize.
Okay.
And the ANN article didn't have many details because there aren't many
And
details.
you're like,
yet.
wow, I'm suddenly standing under a giant pair of non-genitals that I can point up at. Because they don't have
thank
them.
you for
Because they don't
that.
have them.
Thank you
I
for
know
that.
I
but
think
that's
that
in
there's
January.
a giant Gundam outside of Tokyo, or
They
in
did. They
Tokyo?
built a life-size Gundam.
So yeah,
Jeez.
I when I hear
could
things
do
like
anything.
that and like thinking about actual like Titan models like that, it sounds really cool and really scary.
Makes me-
Even a 4-meter Titan model is going to be pretty freaky.
It makes me think of the car commercial that was the Attack on Titan car
Yeah,
commercial, which was
yes.
incredible.
So cool.
Yeah,
Well, if the movie looks anything like that, it's going to be terrifying.
which would be great.
Well,
okay,
yeah, that's the
if
point.
it's like that, I'll give the movie some credence. When I hear like live action of an anime, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Although
Like
apparently
Akira,
the-
no, please no.
That one,
They've dropped
well,
that.
one's been.
But then
in
they keep on
develop-
repicking it
And
up
they
and
keep
dropping
dropping
it and
it.
repicking it up. But
And it
been
no
in
longer has
development hell for
Keanu
a
Reeves
long
attached
time.
to it, I don't
But
think.
I hear that the Death Note live action movies that they did actually weren't bad. I haven't seen them, but I heard that they
were
weren't
okay.
bad. And I know that there's talk of bringing Monster, the anime Monster, onto
God almighty.
an HBO as a miniseries, as a live action miniseries, and I can totally get behind that. I think that would be fantastic.
Death Note was good. Gantz was good. Let's talk about tonight's episode.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, we're talking about Monster because HBO makes good stuff, so maybe we get on
All
HBO.
right. Steven's gonna be the fun police. What,
Yeah, like-
what happened
Just
tonight?
Steven's going to keep this show on
of that,
track.
just because of that, we're not going to talk about that episode one iota tonight at all. We're not even going to mention it.
So
but
here's what I propose. You guys leave, and we'll have a girls-only episode and stay on the subject.
That'll be fun.
Oh wait, taco party! Awesome.
Who calls it that? Anyway.
I think you call it clam bake. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
let's go on to
Clam bake's better.
Attack on Titan. So, John sings
Taco party.
I go to the taco party because tacos are amazing. John seeing the 3D maneuver gear and deciding to actually head out for it. So this is from last week. He saw it, and now he's like, all right, I'm going to actually go for it. So he starts making the run for it, and the Titans come for him. And as the Titans come for him, finally, Connie,
Well,
Annie,
it was
Marco are
Marco,
like,
yeah.
we got to help. We got to help.
Yeah.
And Marco's the first one to leap out to help John.
Yeah.
Because he's Marco.
Poor Marco.
Oh, Marco.
This episode broke my heart.
It was like, for such like an episode that's supposed to be about victory, it was so bittersweet, which I guess a lot of people call it the Pyrrhic victory episode.
Yeah.
Because it's-
if it ended on the yay, we won, then it would be victory. But it's yay, we won within the first 5 minutes. Here's the aftermath.
Yeah,
And the aftermath is ugly.
and the rest of the episode is basically, finding the dead and talking about the amount of people, the amount of casualties there were from this battle. Although, yes, this is humanity's first victory, it came at a terrible, terrible cost.
Yeah.
But it was a victory.
But despite
nonetheless.
what Rico said last week, they're pretty much all just red shirts. Or was this 2 weeks ago with Rico?
Well,
Rico
and-
giving the whole speech
and
about all
her-
their names.
I really liked getting that very brief moment from her because in this episode it was everyone who's died, they didn't die in vain. We actually won. This is a victory. Their deaths meant something, which
Absolutely.
to a soldier who's lost so many comrades, like that's the only thing that you can hope for your comrades that died. That was that their death meant something.
Yeah. But for it to get there, in order to get to that place, we see Eren actually finally carrying the boulder in Titan mode as they look over, and now they have to try to go into defensive mode around Eren as he gets into an area without any coverage, so there's no buildings, and there's no horses that they don't have any horses, so they don't have anything that they utilize to try and actually get around Titans so they can get on them, because you use buildings to use your 3D maneuvering gear. You use trees. You use horses so you can maneuver and run around them real quickly, and they don't have any of this.
So they're just running around on the floor going, we're distracting them. Get over here.
These are really big things, and we can't do anything. Just
well-
run faster.
Well, if we saw with Team Matavi, like that basically all this was at this time was, we are now just cannon fodder. Throw yourselves at them. There's no chance of survival. And like we saw Team Squad Matavi just got wiped out within seconds, and people were just dying left and right. Probably dying more in this one moment than any other point during the entire conflict. This was like kind of the all or nothing.
Well, that we've seen at least, because I mean, even
Yeah.
before this point, I think it was like a week or two ago,
Well, and the
they were
entire-
mentioning how many casualties there already were that we just
Yeah.
didn't see on
Yeah,
camera.
the entire vanguard got wiped out, and that was they were wiped out off screen, and that was everybody experienced. in the Vanguard. So that's why we've been focusing on the cadets more, not only because they're our main characters, it's
But because they're the only people left.
yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, we just see Mikasa can still kill, so she can find ways.
We have Mikasa. She's worth 100 cadets. So we're good.
Yes.
She really is.
As Rico was the one to point that out.
And everyone basically goes, holy cow, they're running around on the ground.
Well, you also have
I think we're going to need to do that. Follow their lead.
and somehow Ian makes his way up to a Titan's mouth to let someone
he was
out.
Running,
Well,
he was
someone-
running on
yeah.
a rooftop,
Yeah,
and
okay.
one of his comrades was about to be eaten
Oh,
by
yeah,
a
I'm sure
Titan,
30
and
maneuvered into it.
and he pulled probably, for not being our main character, he pulled probably the biggest self-sacrifice rescue that we've seen, in that he yanked a guy out of a Titan's mouth at the cost of his own life.
And I think that's the point where the series felt the need to show us, look, just because the protagonist can do it and come out the other side with superpowers doesn't mean anyone else is that special.
Well, the protagonist also didn't have his head bitten off.
That's
Yeah.
true. He got
That might have ended his
swallowed
superpowers.
almost- He
Yeah.
got swallowed almost whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a lovely little close-up on the, see what's happening to this guy?
like-
Isn't that great? No.
Oh, he
No.
decided not to take the head in. Okay.
Didn't even give him a heads up.
Oh, he'll never be the head of a major corporation.
I'm going to head that one off at the pass.
Oh, now
You
I'm
missed
sad.
us.
I'm not punny
You
enough.
missed us.
It's too
My
sad
soul
to make.
didn't, I can tell you that much.
I'm like, I'm not
too
quick with
sad
the
to
puns.
make any more puns because it was a really moving.
Oh, these were all off the top of my head.
Oh, no more.
Jeez. Well, you just attacked that one head on.
Yeah.
Dave, don't start.
I'm just
Don't
gonna,
start.
I'm just gonna be sad here in the corner.
And I'm sure everyone's glad we're not keeping a pun jar for this.
But we do have a pun. No, okay. So, so after that save and what he does, and that self-sacrifice, Eren actually makes it over. And Eren, if you notice, is actually thinking rational thoughts. Like, this is the first time we've seen him in Titan mode thinking normal Eren thoughts, as opposed to just madness. It's actually coherent thoughts for the first time.
there's an air of clarity there.
Yeah.
Well, and Armin managed to wake him up and not completely kill him in the process, so
Good
that
work,
worked.
Armin.
It was just a wake-up stab. I mean, that's what friends do, you know? Need to be brought back around. Give a
I
quick
don't think I
stab to the
want to
arm.
know your friends.
You know one of them.
So
I think I want to know the rest of your friends.
I'm locking my door tonight and not drinking any more liquids John gives me. And what else is there? Okay, so anyways,
I really worry about
Now
you
that
two
we
sometimes.
terrified everyone.
so Eren in the most ultimate boulder smackdown ever. Like, so much animation as he smacks that down. And like, holy crap, he put the boulder down. Like, literally wedged it into the side of the wall. They finally got their victory and shoot up what looked like green smoke, but they were calling it yellow smoke. But they shot up
Close
their
enough.
victory smoke.
But yeah, victory
Victory
signal.
smoke.
And it's Rico shooting up, as you guys mentioned, with Megan mentioned, with the heartfelt moment of her mentioning, like, all the lines
did
actually
it,
meant
yeah.
something. Yeah.
There's still Titans running around in here, but there's no more coming in, so yes.
Yeah, so first victory for mankind
Ever.
Period.
ever.
Of all time.
In over 107 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to go without a win, guys. That's a really long time. Like, think of any kind of anytime like your sports team has gone on like a losing streak, except it's war.
So it's like being a Cubs fan.
I was just thinking
Just
that.
about to make that joke.
Except for the Cubs still haven't
And
actually
all
achieved
of
the
our
boulder.
viewers in Chicago are like, nope.
Oh,
It's okay, there's still the Sox.
Unsubscribe.
That's okay, you guys. I'm a Rockies fan. Let me tell you about that.
So what's Eren's big reward for saving everybody, being the first person to ever actually achieve victory for mankind, is getting locked away in a cell?
Jail time!
It's admittedly
Yay!
a very nice bed inside that jail cell.
But there's
that
still
you're
manacles
shagging.
hanging from the ceiling, and that's creepy.
Well,
You gotta love how thankful everyone is.
can we go back a minute?
Yeah, I just
Let's
wanted to
go
bring
back
that
a
up because it
minute. Yeah.
connects.
Because when Armin's literally pulling him out of the giant Titan, and he's got a really high fever and he's unconscious, and Rico's the one that cuts him out, and they're about to be attacked by these two really oddly animated titans.
That
I
big
don't
mouth
understand that Titan on the left. It looked like
Yeah, that's.
it's like one of those Pokemon where the mouth just goes really, really wide. I can't think of. It was like an Exploud
Dave
or
is
something.
doing
It was
his
huge.
best Titan impression
Dave is
right now
doing-
for
yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
who's listening to
That-
the podcast.
It's like that Titan just unhinged its jaw. It's like, how? What?
It just swallows whole. It doesn't chew. I mean,
Yeah.
most of them
Yeah,
do
that's-
anyways.
that's
It doesn't
true.
need jaws.
Yeah, but still.
But then we have like the most fantastic entrance, that any member of the Survey Corps has had to date was when
Commander
Levi.
Levi.
Yeah, Levi comes in, and it was really cool. It was a really great entrance.
Should say Captain Levi, not Commander.
I just like his nice little sentence right at the end, like after he kills his two titans and he's staring down at them. It's like an angry mom that stepped in after you've had a big party over the weekend and the house is still a mess. He's just like, so care to explain what went on here?
Can you imagine being a member of the Survey Corps? You're like, I was only gone for a couple hours, guys. How did you make a wreck of the place?
we left this morning. We turned around because we forgot Brian. We came back to get Brian. Brian's dead, so we're 1,200 other people. What did you do?
Well, just think about it. Like, Levi very clearly had to, like, scale the wall because they saw the attack on the Tross District. They were no doubt heading towards it, and right as they show up, suddenly there's a boulder that gets... Just imagine it from their perspective. All right, guys.
We're riding through the gate. Oh, no.
Well, this is new.
Like, son of a...
They're like, we had concrete and we were gonna just do it that way.
No.
They had a plan, and
No.
then Levi was gonna clean it.
Although that's true, if there's anybody who's going to clean up this district now,
This is-
Levi's
It'll
the
be
guy to do
Levi.
Levi's
it.
the cleaner.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Womp, womp.
Maybe that's why he's so upset. He's like, boulder's just pure dirt. I can't clean that. It's a rock. It's so dirty. So anyways, it takes them a whole day to wipe out the Titans in Tross District, and they start talking about the casualties. There's 208 dead, 897 injured. So that's around 1,100.
1,100 casualties.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yep. Although it could have been considerably worse because
Yeah.
remember the last time this happened, 20% of the human race was gone. So that's a lot of people. So comparatively, it's a lot better. It's still not great.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they were still saying if they had to retreat back to Cena, over half of the remaining population of humans would have to die in order for the
Just for
rest
food.
of,
Yeah.
just to survive.
So the other big news during this event was that they also captured 2 Titans alive, which is huge.
A 4
'cause-
meter and a 7 meter.
Yeah, so now they
So
can actually
tiny Titans.
maybe try and study Titans or look into it. So that's actually really big news.
Hanji will be happy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they will
They're
be.
going to be very happy.
So that was like huge news, I would think. And as they're cleaning up, we have ashes flying everywhere, presumably from burning dead bodies to prevent
Yeah.
disease. So disease prevention.
Because at this point, when they're going around and picking up bodies and identifying them, one of the doctors that's doing it says, it's been 2 days since all of this happened. These bodies have been dead for 48 hours. If we don't get this taken care of, we're going to start having the spread of diseases. It's going to be a whole other catastrophe. Quit freaking out and do your job.
Now, who the hell is this dude bitten in half?
Oh, that's Marco!
What happened to his lips? He didn't have lips anymore.
Well, half of his
Yeah,
face
right.
was
He'd
gone,
been
dude,
dead
and
for
he'd been dead
48
for 2
hours.
days.
He's like this.
He just didn't have lips anymore.
Can you guys stop doing your impression of dead people and Titans? Because for everybody listening on the podcast, they can't actually see that.
Then
Well,
describe
the people
it.
on
Go.
iTunes can imagine.
Yeah, and then they
Use
can
your
imagine.
imagination.
It gets even better and more horrifying when you have to use your imagination.
It kind of does.
But it was I remember when I was going through and watching this series for the first time, this moment really hit home because he died off screen, and that really hit me in particular because it was so unceremonious, because this is somebody who had literally swung in just minutes ago, in terms of runtime, to save Jean. Quiet you. I almost called him Gene again. But he swung in to save his friend, and and the last time we saw him, he was just fine. And even Jean brings it up that he hadn't seen him in a while, but he never imagined anything bad would have happened to him in that amount of time.
we won. Why are people dead?
Yeah, and
It's this awful
and again,
cognitive
it was
dissonance.
something that happened off screen, and it's like, wow, this is the type of series that really does kill people off so unceremoniously. It's not everybody gets a heroic death.
I
Speaking
think it's
of
the truth about war.
unceremonious and unheroic, Titan vomit.
Yeah, that was
Oh
great.
God, yeah.
There's
With
this giant,
multiple bodies in it.
8 foot tall ball of just shiny stuff, almost like amber, with a bunch of human bodies in it. And it turns out that Titans don't have digestive tract. So when they eat people and they eat too many people and they get too full, they just vomit the mess up and keep going.
It also turns out it makes great fossil fuel.
Ugh. I don't get
They
it.
use horses. They use horses.
Although they do use gas for the 3D maneuvering gear.
Oh, yes. Powered by people.
Yep.
Soylent Green.
Ugh, gross.
Soylent gas?
Ugh, gross.
Somehow I wouldn't put it past this government, actually.
Soylent Green put it past the
Well,
government.
did
yeah.
you I mean, you had Sasha just like staring at it, like probably not hungry for the first time in her life, or more hungry somehow. And there's
Let's go with not.
Yeah,
there
no.
was a guy. Did you notice like the guy stepping up? Like apparently they have to. He's holding like a small little hand chisel. Like apparently they have to chisel the bodies out
And then burn them.
and then burn
in order
them.
to identify them, yeah.
Yeah, but then like just seeing that ball and seeing that chisel, like I'm just thinking, dude, wouldn't a pickaxe work better?
They may
Like,
not
really,
have
this-
a pickaxe at the time.
And
or
it
all
might
the other
be that-
pickaxes could be employed on the other Titan.
It might
vomit.
be that, pickaxes you have to use very specific tools so that you don't further damage the bodies so that you can
You're
identify
gonna set them
already
on
dead!
fire.
Well, no, I mean in terms of being able to identify them.
True.
I mean-
but all you need for that's a head.
Well, maybe they don't crack the head in half or something. Let's
This
keep
is
on
getting
going with this.
macabre. Even for
Anyway.
Attack on Titan, this is getting macabre.
But Annie, for once, showing emotions. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Didn't think she
Annie's
had
And
sad.
that was another scene that really sticks out in this episode is she's just saying, I'm sorry. And this is the most emotional we've seen her in the entire series.
Yeah.
But we don't
What-
really see who she's apologizing to.
It was saying that it looked like she was like standing over Marco, or like where Marco was. saying-
We didn't see who she was standing over, so it's presumably she's just apologizing to the dead. And that's when Reiner comes up and says, apologizing isn't going to do them any good, giving them a quick funeral will. So.
But yeah, it's good to see emotion from her because she's just our hard character.
But yeah,
who-
it's very interesting
care
to
about
see
anything.
that even these characters who from the very get-go, Shardus was saying that there are certain people who have seen devastation already that don't need things to be hammered into them. That even those characters can be emotionally affected by everything that's happened.
Yeah. So after this moment, we do get Aaron's wonderful victory ceremony. The
Give him a
trumpets.
medal.
Yeah, the trumpets blaring for Aaron for
And he gets a
his
lovely
wonderful
hotel
victory.
room.
Yeah, amazing hotel room.
Underground.
All expenses paid.
medicals.
It's just one thing about this show that always blows me away is every time Aaron does something positive as a Titan, people are still like, "You monster! I hate you!" And it's like, but he just saved everybody
As a
Like,
Titan.
But he still
That's
saved.
the operative phrase.
But he still saved everybody and won the first victory ever for humankind.
As a Titan.
So-
As a Titan. It's those 3 words.
Well,
like, yeah.
and not
no.
to defend them because again, he's our protagonist, and of course we know his intentions are good, and we know he doesn't mean anybody any harm, but except Titans. But in their defense, they don't know that. They
But
just
they
know
did just
that there's
see him
a guy.
win.
Yeah, but they know that there's a guy who can turn into a Titan, and that presumably the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan function like he does. And so if that's the case, can people like this be trusted?
And if you're playing a long game, you start suspecting other people of playing a long game as well. So it's
Yeah.
entirely possible they're like, well, he helped us now. But that's now.
Yeah,
It could be
exactly.
part of a plan. Because, Aaron's fully capable of planning ahead of next Tuesday.
Oh yeah, he's the brains of the operation.
Of course.
Now, that's an operation I want to see.
That's an operation I want to stay far
Oh wait, we
away
actually
from.
saw that operation.
Yeah,
Aaron's hand got
he
bitten off in his
died.
leg.
Aaron died that day.
That was the operation he was in charge of. So
Yeah, that
he's
went well.
so he's in prison with Commander Irwin and Captain Levi, and it's Irwin who's basically telling him, questioning him, talking to him. And Irwin has his key, and they seem to have gotten all their information from Commander Pixis, and they know about the key, they know about the house, everything that Aaron delved and dished out to Pixis. Irwin seems to know.
They're realistic about it. They're like, in order to go and do that, we would have to retake that area.
Right.
And we would need your Titan strength for that, to plug up that wall in the same way.
So, what are your intentions?
Hopefully there's another really big boulder lying around.
I know, right?
Like
We'll
really,
just
really
find a
big one.
boulder and schlep it over to the hole, and yeah, it'll be fine.
We don't need these walls anymore. We'll just build giant boulders surrounding the
Giant
city.
boulder stacks, okay.
Yep. Perfect. So then that's when Aaron unleashes his true intentions, which is to join the scout regiment and kill them all.
No, that's not quite what happened.
Well, in addition to quite what happened.
Well, Levi says, basically, he's like, I will accept him into the scout regiment, and if he gives me any trouble, I will kill him.
Yeah.
That's basically
You
what
can
happened.
tell the higher-ups that, because they know that I'm fully willing and capable.
Of
like,
just
yes,
murder.
yes, you are. We know.
Again, if there's a mess that needs to be cleaned up, Levi's the guy to...
He's
Call
Mr.
the
Clean.
cleaner.
There we go.
Yep.
Mr. Clean.
Oh, man. I wonder if
It's
who's
that
it.
Cards Against Humanity card. Mr. Clean standing right behind you. That's Levi.
That's a frightening card.
It is.
Really
Now
frightening.
just imagine Levi there, and somehow it's worse.
So that ends up wrapping up the episode with, at least for now, they've had the first victory of humankind. And it looks like the next mission at the moment would seem to be maybe the house. And after they're done cleaning out, try to get to this house and use this key from Aaron's. And that ends the episode. So let's go ahead and talk about some news and gossip.
Wait, we already did that.
So that wraps up the episode. So guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Once again, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein. That's Klein.
I'm Megan. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on the Sword Art Online panels and the Ruby After Show.
I'm John Quick. You can find me at @NowQuick on Twitter, and I'm also on the Legend of Korra after panel, going to be going on at 6 p.m. tonight.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. You can also find me on the Sword Art Online, Legend of Korra, and Ruby panels.
And we will see you guys next week. Later.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.